If there's one thing safe to say, that everyone loves a good boss battle. And to prove that fact, me and 6 of my friends are pretty much came together and decided to tell our own opinions of what our favorite bosses is. So seriously, why do we love these guys so much? Is it because they test our skills, give us a unique challenge, or does it give you that feeling like, hey bad guy, I'm here, let's do this. I'm gonna kick your ass right here, right now. So without further ado, the top 7 greatest boss battles. Enjoy!
So the boss I'm going with comes from one of the most least likely places, the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time. No, not the final boss, not the stupid eyeball. We're talking about Dark Link. Alter egos are awesome to fight, and Dark Link is no exception. He mimics your every move, and will attack when you attack, and he'll block. It'll take a lot of time to hit him, and it's not like Legend of Zelda 2 where you can just duck in a corner and attack his shins repeatedly until he's dead. No, this one you're gonna have to find like expert timing. And it's just one of those things that makes the Water Temple amazing when everyone thinks it sucks so hard. But everyone's got to remember, mini boss man, Dark Link, it's awesome.
When you play Final Fantasy X, you face various forms of Seymour, but for this particular video, I'll pick the last form as my favorite boss battle. I find this one to be the most relevant because, first of all, you are trying to finally destroy him once and for all. Then it has a great atmosphere. It also makes you change your strategy throughout the battle, since the circles around Seymour determine what element he has, so you have to change your game plan in order to defeat him, and to top it off, the music that plays during the battle. Enough said. A great way to finish an awesome villain.
Hello everyone, NagafenofIvalice here, providing my choice. One of my favourite bosses isn't exactly the most impressive. He's not exactly the most fearsome. He really isn't the most devastating of bosses. He was the first boss I really ever faced in a video game. And as such, he impacts a lot of what I would then see to come as a fight, a test of knowledge and aptitude in providing a challenge, shall we say. The person that I'm putting on my list, well, this list, sorry, of favourite bosses is King Bob-omb, or King Bottom, or King Bob, from Super Mario 64. Back then, the N64 was one of the first consoles that I ever owned, and as such, Super Mario 64 was one of the first games I ever played. This is where it started for me. And as such, King Bottom was basically the first challenge I had in the game that wasn't simply running around or searching for coins or searching for stars. He was a bigger fish than the rest of the enemies. He's one of my favourite bosses because not only, of course, is he, you know, a test of if you've managed to master the art of what will essentially become a staple in the game, running around the enemy and catching them in just the right place. It's a staple that Bowser himself follows later in the game, and by then that you really should have had to have mastered. He's also slightly amusing. I mean, all of these small, cute bombs turn up, and then suddenly you're confronted with a mustachioed, savant or self-styled savant of duels and fights. A gentleman clad in a giant crown and made of large orbs. I mean, at the time he was amusing, and he remains amusing. And that's while there are probably greater technical boss battles, and there are greater ones that I feel might come in my future. King Bottom started it for me. King Bottom began the bar of bosses for me. As such, while maybe he's not the best, he is still my favourite. See ya!
My choice for the best boss ever is the final hazard from SA2, Sonic Adventure 2, blah blah blah. And I'm going to explain to you in the quickest way possible. You're two Super Saiyan hedgehogs fighting a giant lizard with a space station shoved up its ass while hitting giant tumors with epic music playing in the background. What's not awesome about that?
One of the penultimate bosses for Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, Julius Belmont gives you exactly everything you expect from a Belmont fight. Beginning, he starts off pretty simple, using the whips, dive kicks, and time jumps to try to get behind you and annoy you as Soma Cruz. However, when you get him down to half health, that's when the real challenge begins, as he starts throwing up pretty much his own equivalent of the soul crushes of Richter Belmont, using things such as axes, a Bible, boomerang cross, and even Hydro Storm to piss you off. The only thing he really doesn't use is the dagger, which I can understand is probably one of the weaker sub-weapons, but that's okay. What really makes me like Julius so much is not the fact that he's a Belmont, not the fact that you actually have to fight the Belmont, but the fact that you are fighting him, and even at an advanced age, even after suffering amnesia and having to regain his memories, he still has the skills of a young man. He's basically, I hate to say it, the Chuck Norris of Belmonts. I really can't put it any better than that. Julius Belmont is by far one of the best bosses in game, not even Castlevania, in gaming at all. For the first time, you're a hero fighting a hero. You're not fighting him because he's evil. He's fighting you because he knows that you are the reincarnation of Dracula, and he knows that if you go through this door behind them, you could become evil. In fact, there's even a mode in Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow on the Nintendo DS where you play as Julius, where you fight Soma Cruz because he has given in to the dark side of Dracula. I really can't say anything more than that.
Lubu is typically depicted as an extremely brutish, aggressive, and bloodthirsty warrior who fights for the sole purpose of finding an opponent worthy of the challenge. He believes himself to be the mightiest man alive, believes that the only true justice in the world is not found in any court, but when one fights for one's life on the battlefield where the strong survive and the weak are crushed. He's brutally honest and has little faith and respect, and bureaucrats, politicians, or cowards. For this reason, Lubu despised being Gongzhou's lackey. The reason why I have chosen Lubu for my favorite boss, even though he is not considered a boss, he's considered an optional boss in the Dynasty Warriors series, is because of those main reasons. He believes that when the time is right, it's either put up or shut up, and actions speak louder than words. And when time comes, are you going to be man enough to stand there and take whatever comes to you and fight for what is right and what you believe in? I had never heard of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms or the Dynasty Warriors series until I was in my junior year of high school. I had went to my local video store and I had found a copy of Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends. My brother was going up and down the walls wanting to play it because at the time he was only 13 at the time and I was still 16. Well, I rented it for him as well as me renting Prince of Persia Warrior Within. I fell in love with both games. I could go into more about Warrior Within, but I'm not. My chosen boss is Lubu. When me and my brother put that game into our PS2, we started it up, and we started on the other campaign. And we started at Battle for Hulao Gate. No, it was Dynasty Warriors 4. Forgive me. When we started, you know, the battle for Hulao Gate, and we got to where the gate was, and we hear, you know, we see the cutscene where it cuts out, and the warriors scream, "Lubu! It's Lubu!" And he starts mowing them down on red hair, and you hear that infamous rock riff kick in. And hopefully my brother-in-law will put the theme right here, because I can tell you right now, that theme reeks of ultimate intimidation and strikes a chord of fear in you. It is meant to intimidate and make you think, okay, now it's time to put up or shut up. It is time to fight. And God help you if you killed Liao Chan or you steal his horse. Because he will literally be after your ass. He will not stop. I had Lubu chase me all around the map after I killed Liao Chan and I stole red hair. And after a while, he will get another version of red hair. And he will come after you on said horse to get you for stealing his horse and killing his woman. I have nothing but fond memories of fighting against Lubu. I have fond memories of my brother playing as Lubu and playing as Lubu myself. I have very fond memories of getting my ass kicked by Lubu and having to restart the level over again because I cursed. And I could go into so many things about this warrior, but I'm not. He used a halberd. It's basically a giant spear. And I don't know what more I can say about him, other than you need to play Dynasty Warriors to get the feel of this warrior for yourself. So, once more, all I can say is Lubu is one hell of a boss. You don't want to piss him off. You sure as hell don't want to face him in Dynasty Warriors 3 or Dynasty Warriors 5 on extreme difficulty, because your your face will be eating dirt constantly. So, this is Sephiroth's Queen 777, and this is brought to you by Lubu. Now I'm going to go die. Thank you.
Alright, my favorite boss battle comes from Okami. At the top of Oni Island, or why am I beating around the bush? You know who it is. My pick is the Demon Lord Ninetails. When you first meet him, he is disguised as a girl or a priestess named Rao, or as Isun likes to call her, Busty Babe. Then later, after you get the fox rods out of the water dragon, you found out that Queen Himiko was murdered, and it was Rao. And after you beat her, she reveals her true form as Ninetails. The Ninetails battle will be like the doppelganger battle of Okami. You can copy all your brush techniques or just completely mess up yours. But that's not enough. He also wields a sword, where you have to use your newly acquired thunderstorm technique to connect the clouds to his sword and split him into 9 little single-tailed foxes. You kill them until there is only one left. Then you see a one-tailed, one-eyed regular fox, and you can feel free to hack and slash as you please. Another thing, during the arc of Yamato's area, you get to fight Ninetails all over again for a second time. Twice the fun. Well, if you guys enjoyed that, then, well, congratulations, you've made it through the video. And if you feel like going to these other guys' channels, their links are going to be in the description down below. And feel free to check out these 2 other videos I have on the screen at the moment. Also, feel free to like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment on what you like, on what your favorite boss battle is. And and also feel free to subscribe or whatever. See ya.